Hello, my name is Greg Hammond, and I'm the CEO of Hammond Iles Wealth Advisors. And I would like to welcome you to our Financial Power Hour. And today we're talking about solving the Social Security puzzle. It's a challenging puzzle. It's like solving an algebraic equation that you have a number of different factors that have to be taken into consideration on determining when will be the best time to take your Social Security. However, there is multiple things that you need to take into consideration, and one of those factors is unknown. For you see, if we knew when we were going to pass away, how long we were going to live, it would be an easy equation. It would be a mathematical formula to determine how much of benefits would add up to the most over our lifetime. But that's not the case. So today, we are here to look at securing your retirement by transforming Social Security into a winning retirement strategy for you. And as I mentioned, it would all be easy if we could tell exactly how long we're going to live. But however, when it comes to the Social Security determination age, we don't really kind of look at longevity, and it's something that is truly missing from the conversation. That when we look at life expectancies of couples and individuals that reach the age of 65, over 50% of couples will have someone from that couple live until the early 90s, and at least 25% have one of the spouses living until their late 90s. So basically, 1 out of 3 65-year-olds will end up living past the age of 90, and 1 out of 7 will live past the age of 95. Yet, even though many people will live beyond the age of 90, 2/3 of individuals taking Social Security are taking it early at age 62 or somewhere between that age and their full retirement age. Now, when we take a look at Social Security benefits, Social Security is a benefit that is funded from your paycheck. If you are working, you'll see a 6.2% FICA tax deducted from your payroll that goes into the Social Security fund. And you pay that tax up to an income for 2022 of $147,000. And to become eligible to receive a benefit back out of Social Security, you have to have at least 40 work credits. And you get a credit for earning basically $1,510, and you are limited to earning 4 credits in any 1 year. So you will need to earn a little more than $6,000 a year for at least 10 years to become eligible for a Social Security benefit. Now, the way that that benefit is calculated is by looking at the best 35 years of your employment over your lifetime leading up to Social Security. And it's one of those things that you should pay attention to and check on your statement from the Social Security Administration to make sure that there are no errors in the reporting of your income. Another thing to take into consideration related to your employment history is that your estimated benefits, as reported on page 2, shown on the right-hand side of the screen, that is making the estimation based on the assumption that you continue working all the way until you retire. So if you decide to take your full retirement benefit at the age of 65, but yet you stop working at age 63, the benefit that you ultimately receive at 65 will be less than what's projected. And that's because you have 2 years that you're not working or adding into the Social Security benefit that the original estimation was taking into consideration. Now, also because there is a limit on the income that you pay your FICA tax on, there's also a limit as to the size of your Social Security benefit that you can receive out of Social Security. And for 2022, the maximum benefit at age 62 is $2,364. And at full retirement age, the maximum benefit is $3,345. Now, if you are paying into the FICA tax and you are over the age of 60, you should receive a print copy of your Social Security statement within 3 months of your birthday. And if you're younger than the age of 60, what you'll need to do is go to the Social Security website, which is www.ssa.gov. And if you haven't created an account, and you can log in and pull up your statement online. Now, when we talk about Social Security, there are a few different ages that we need to be aware of. Now, with your benefit, the earliest that you can receive a Social Security benefit is age 62. And you will have a full retirement age that falls in the middle. And the latest that you can potentially receive an increased benefit is at age 70. So somewhere between 62 and 70, you can turn that benefit on. But at the full retirement age, you will receive what is called the primary insurance amount, or the PIA. And your full retirement age is determined by the age or the year in which you were born. So if you were born in 1937 or earlier, you will have your full retirement age at 65. And if you're born between 1943 and 1954, it will be 66. And if you're born after 1960, your full retirement age currently will be age 67. Now, if you fall in between those windows, for example, let's say that you were born in 1956, for every year after 1954, you add 2 months. So if you were born in 1956, your full retirement age would be 66 and 4 months. And that falls true also between 1937 and 1943. Both of those windows are points at which the Social Security Administration and Congress has pushed the retirement age higher and phased it in over those periods of time. So you want to be aware of what your full retirement age is, because that will dictate what your full retirement benefit is. Now, if you decide to collect your benefit before your full retirement age, there will be a kind of penalty or a reduction of your benefit going forward. And once you start, this penalty stays in place for your lifetime. So for example, if your full retirement age is 67 and you decide to take it at age 62, that's 5 years early, and you will lose 30% of your benefit. You will receive 70% of your full retirement age benefit, or your PIA number. If you are full retirement age at 66 and you take it at 62, you'll get 3/4 of your benefit. Now, after you start taking your benefit, you will certainly get cost of living increases, but when you reach your full retirement age, your benefit does not jump up to what it would have been had you waited until that point in time. So when you start taking it early, you lock in a lower benefit for your lifetime, and potentially, if you have a spouse, your spouse's lifetime. So it's very important that we take a look at a number of factors when we're looking at your ability to take Social Security and the desire of what will be the best for you over the long run. And some of those factors to consider on taking Social Security benefits is, are you working? Are you fully retired? What is your family longevity? When would you expect or estimate that you might live until? And do you have a spouse? And if so, what is the age differential between you and your spouse? And what is the differential between the Social Security benefits that each of you will receive? So we'll go into some of the details on using those factors on making a decision about your Social Security. But one of the things also to know is that if you do continue working and you have not reached your full retirement age, you will lose some of your benefits that you're receiving. So if you are under your full retirement age and you earn more than $19,560 in the year, you will lose $1 of benefit for every $2 you earn above that amount. And if you're in the year of which you turn the age of your full retirement age, you have a higher limit. You can earn up to $51,960. And if you earn over that, you'll lose $1 for every $3 that you earn over that. Now, once you reach your full retirement age, all bets are off. You can work and earn as much as you want, and it will have absolutely no impact on your Social Security. So if you are continuing to work beyond age 62, it's usually one of the reasons why we recommend that you continue to defer your Social Security. Not only because you'll have a less of a penalty if you collect it later, but you can potentially have a larger benefit to pass on to your spouse. Now, one of the things that can happen if you start to take Social Security early, and all of a sudden your former employer says, hey, we need you back, or they want to hire you back as a consultant, if you start working again and you're within the first 12 months of starting to take your Social Security, there is a provision that you can do a do-over. There is a form that you can submit to request the withdrawal of your original application for Social Security. Now, as part of this application, you will need to pay back all of the benefits that you would have received over that time frame before you submit that. But there is this opportunity that if circumstances change or you decide to wait, you do have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reset the clock, let your benefits grow, and take Social Security later. Now, one of the benefits of waiting and deferring your Social Security, especially after your full retirement age, is that your benefit goes up 8% per year that you defer. So if you get 100% of your full retirement age benefit or your PIA at your full retirement age, 1 year later, you would get 108%. 2 years later, 116, 3 years, 124%. And 4 years later, if your full retirement age was, for example, 64, and you wait, if it was 66 and you waited to age 70, you would get 132%. That's a third of your benefit more. Now, not only will you get that 8% increase each year, but any cost of living increase will also be added on. So just by deferring your benefit does not mean that you miss out on any cost of living increases. So you could potentially get a substantial increase by deferring that benefit beyond your full retirement age. Now, one of the other ways of kind of looking at the perspective of when might be a good time to take Social Security is to take a look at the break-even analysis. So taking a look at the total amount of Social Security benefits that you would receive, and you add those up starting at age 62, where you're receiving 75% of your benefit, and you add that up and you compare it to starting to take your full benefit at age 66 versus the 132% benefit at age 70. If you start adding those up, What you'll find is that by waiting the 4 years to your full retirement age, the break-even point is around age 78. So if you live beyond age 78, you're going to benefit from waiting until your full retirement age. As for waiting until age 70, that break-even point is 82 and a half years old. So if you're planning, and based on your health and looking at your family history, you think that you'll live beyond age 83, it can definitely be to your benefit to look at deferring your benefit and taking it at age 70. Now, certainly each individual, the circumstances are different, and you may need that income earlier. And so I recommend that part of this process, you not only go to the website or look at your statement to know exactly what your benefits are, but also to sit down with a financial coach at Hammond Iles Wealth Advisors, where you can go over your situation and we can help provide some guidance as the considerations that you want to take into account in making your decision. So what are some of the rules of retirement benefits, especially when it comes to spouses and survivors? And this is a big question, especially when it comes to spouses. And in our example, we're looking at a couple, Jordan and Alex. And for simplicity's sake, we're going to assume that Jordan will receive at his full retirement age $2,200 per month. And Alex either worked in the home or did not work outside the home and does not have or did not work enough to get the credits to have a Social Security benefit. So Alex's benefit is zero. Now, the nice thing about a spouse is that as a spouse, you're able to collect 50% of your spouse's PIA at their full retirement age. So in this example, with Jordan having a benefit of $2,200 per month, Alex at full retirement age can collect 50% of that, or $1,100 per month, even though she may not have had enough credits or did not work at all during her lifetime. So that is an important thing to know. Now, also, it's important to realize that the 50% benefit is always based on the spouse's full primary insurance amount, that PIA number. So even if Jordan decided to start taking his Social Security early at age 62, so he's only receiving $1,650, at Alex's full retirement age, she would receive the full 50% of his full benefit, not 50% of the $1,650. So for her, it's definitely to the benefit of waiting until her full retirement age to be able to collect that half benefit. Now, she certainly could, if she decided to, take that benefit early. And just like anyone with their own benefit, a spouse's benefit is reduced if they take it early. It's a little bit more of a substantial decrease, and that 5 years, it's 65% of the actual benefit, and it goes up a little bit each year until the full retirement age. But unlike your own retirement benefit, once you reach your full retirement age, it does not increase beyond that point. So if you have a lower Social Security benefit for yourself than 50% of your spouse's full retirement age benefit, there's no reason to wait until taking your Social Security benefit. Although it is important to realize that the spousal benefit cannot be taken until the spouse turns their benefit on. So in this example, where Jordan waits until age 70 to take a higher benefit, that 32% increase, so his benefit is now $2,904 per month. Even though he waited, the spouse still only gets 50% of his full retirement age benefit or the $1,100. They do not get any increase, and they don't have the ability to turn that on at full retirement age if Jordan or the primary spouse did not turn their benefit on. Now, one of the things that used to be one of the rules is that a spouse could turn on their benefit and then suspend it, and then allow the spouse to start collecting the spousal benefit, even though the spouse wasn't collecting their benefit. However, after April 30th of 2016, that has been eliminated. So if a spouse suspends their benefit, in this case, Jordan at their full retirement age decided to suspend the benefit and receive nothing, then the spouse's benefit turns off as well. So they go hand in hand. Now, in this case, Jordan did get some increase in benefit by suspending it. So there was some benefit of building that benefit back up. So if they went back to work, for example, they could suspend their Social Security benefit and it could increase that 8% per year. But the spousal benefit will never increase, and it will lock in at what they took before. In this example, at age 62, only got 70% of the benefit, or $770. Now, when a spouse has a benefit, so for example, in this case where Alex now has a $600 per month benefit of her own, if she decides to start taking her benefits at age 62, she gets a portion of her own benefit reduced by 25%. As I mentioned, the spousal benefit is reduced by a higher percentage. So if we divide up the full retirement age benefit of the $1,100 between her own benefit and the spousal benefit, it calculates backwards. So in this case, at 62, she would get $800 rather than only 70% of the full spousal benefit. Now, also, even if she waits beyond the full retirement age, where her own benefit would go up to 8% per year, with that spousal benefit, it will never be higher than that 50% of the full retirement age benefit. The only time that her benefit would be higher is if her own benefit exceeded the 50% of her spouse's benefit. So careful to look at that and take into consideration. Now, certainly, if the spouse has a higher benefit of their own, then it's more than the 50% of the spouse's benefit. So they just each collect their own benefits, whether that's at full retirement age, at 70, or even before a full retirement age, anywhere between 62 and their full retirement age. Now, it's interesting when we look at survivor benefits, and this is why it's important to not only think about your own benefit, but if something happens to you and your spouse has a lower Social Security benefit or no benefit at all, the benefit that they will receive will step up to the higher of their own benefit or your current benefit. And that's why 45% of current spouses are receiving a survivor benefit that is directly related to their husband's Social Security benefit. So again, looking at our couple, Jordan and Alex, where Alex has a small benefit, but not up to the half of Jordan's, if he started to take his benefit at 63 and 6 months and receive $1,833 per month, and he passes away, Alex will step up to that benefit, but will be locked in at that lower benefit for the rest of her life. Whereas if he waits until age 70 and maxes out his benefit at the $2,904, she will receive that as survivor benefit. So this is extremely important, especially if there is a large age difference between spouses. You want to take a look at what might be the consequences of taking a benefit early for that surviving spouse. So what are some of the collection strategies for spouses to kind of maximize benefits. Do you take it early, full retirement age, wait until 70? How does that all work? So let's take a look at a few examples. And again, each case is individual to you and your financial circumstances. So it's important that although these are some general guidelines that you may take into consideration, that you take a look at your own specific situation. So again, here's a married couple, Jordan and Alex, and we're using the same benefit amounts, $2,200 for Jordan, $600 for Alex. But now we have our crystal ball and we're projecting that Jordan is going to live through age 75 and Alex is going to live all the way until 84. So she'll have another 9 years after he passes away. Now, if they both start to collect early at age 62, they'll both have reduced benefits. So Jordan will get $1,650 a month and Alex will have basically the $800 per month, and they'll have that through their lifetime. And then when Jordan passes away at age 75, Alex's benefit of $800 will go away and she'll step up to the $1,650 going forward. So when we add that all up, it totals $607,000. So if we take a look though, that if they both waited until full retirement age, so Jordan gets his full benefit and Alex gets the full spousal benefit at full retirement age, even though Jordan will receive his benefits for 4 years shorter because he still passes away at age 75, just because they now have a higher benefit that Alex will receive for that following 9 years, together they end up receiving over their lifetimes $633,600. So an additional basically $26,000 that they'll earn by waiting that 4-year time frame. Now, the interesting fact is that if they wait until age 70, that higher benefit doesn't outweigh the fact that Jordan still passes away at 75. He's only going to get the benefit for basically 4 to 5 years. And so they end up actually receiving less than if they had both started at 62 or at the full retirement age. So in this example, full retirement age would be the best age for them to start taking their benefits. However, life isn't this easy and the calculations are not this easy. In our example, we know, or we're using an estimate as to how long each of them will live, and we don't know that. In life, we don't know what life will bring. So we need to estimate as best we can and try to make an informed decision. Now, another option in this case is that because Alex had her own benefit, she started to collect that at age 62. So she started to collect $450 a month. And again, she can't collect her spousal benefit until her spouse Jordan starts to collect his. So when he does start at age 70, then she can step up to the $1,100 or the 50% of his PIA and collect that through age 84 when she passes, or when he, at 74 when he passes, and then she collects his benefit of the higher benefit through the following 9 years. And interestingly enough, this strategy actually ends up being the most beneficial, and that they get a little bit higher of a benefit because of it. Just getting that extra $450 head start more than made up for the difference of starting to collect the benefits later. Now, certainly if we extend that example out where they live even longer, so Jordan lives another 10 years to 85 and Alex lives out to age 92, you can see here that the numbers add up dramatically and over $1 million over their lifetime. But yet the strategy of having the spouse with a lower benefit starting to collect early and then having both of them collect full benefits, both the full spouse and the full husband's benefit at age 70, ends up being the winner again, looking at numbers. So this can be a strategy that's definitely a good option for those where a spouse has a lower Social Security benefit. Now, if we increase the benefit for Alex so that she has her own benefit of around $2,000, again, there used to be the option that you could file a restricted application where the primary or the higher earning spouse could file and wait, or collect a spousal benefit on their own spouse's benefit and then wait and collect on their own benefit. In this case, where now Jordan, even though he has the higher benefit, he could start taking the spousal benefit at full retirement age of $1,000 on Alex's $2,000. And she collects her own benefit from age 62 onward. So she has a reduced benefit. But then at 70, he flips it onto his and moves forward. Now, this restricted age benefit, or be able to collect a spousal benefit without turning on your own benefit, this what's called a restricted application, only applies if you were born before 1953. So most individuals that are born before 1953 are already taking benefits. So most likely this is not an opportunity for you, but we just wanted to make you aware that it was out there. Now, there's also opportunities that we need to take a look at in collecting a widow or widower's benefit. It's important to know that a widow or widower can actually collect a survivor benefit earlier than age 62. They can collect it as early as age 60, and they can collect their survivor benefit and allow their own personal benefit to continue to increase until age 70. So in this example, Chris, who has her own benefit of $2,200, but yet has a survivor or the spouse who had a benefit of $2,500, has the ability to start as early as age 60, and it will be reduced significantly down to $1,788, but it allows her to let her own benefit continue to add in that 8% per year out to age 70 and collect a higher benefit. And you'll see that the different strategies, whether she starts at 62 or full retirement age, that the best strategy is starting to collect that survivor benefit rather than just focus on her own benefit. Also, if she has a lower benefit, she can, again, collect her own benefit for the short term, and then at full retirement age, collect the full survivor benefit. So you can kind of flip-flop that scenario. So based on where your own benefit is relative to your survivor benefit, or that you're inheriting from a spouse, it can play some strategies either way. Now, some additional benefits just to be aware of that may come into account in your decision making is if you do have one spouse who is retirement age and you have a younger spouse who is caring for young children, there may be a wide discrepancy between ages in some couples. So if the spouse not receiving a benefit or collecting benefits has younger children, they will become eligible for a younger spouse benefit, as well as even a younger unmarried child becomes eligible for a spousal benefit. So I'm not going to go into some specifics, but if you have a significant age difference between spouses, this is definitely something that you will want to look at if you had children or got married later in life. Also, for those that may have incurred or experienced a divorce from your spouse, it's also important to realize that there are some benefits to you as a divorced spouse from your divorced spouse. That if you were married to your ex-spouse for at least 10 years and are currently unmarried, and both are at least age 62 and that you've been divorced for at least 2 years, you are able to collect a spousal benefit on your divorced spouse's record. Also, for survivor benefits, again, if you're unmarried or even if you're married after age 60, again, if you are married for at least 10 years, you have the ability to collect survivor benefits on that ex-spouse. So the little hint here is if you're getting tired of your spouse and you're in year 8 or 9, stick it out until at least 10 years so that you can get your spousal benefit. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to just briefly mention to you is about the taxation of Social Security. One of the things that many people don't realize is even though you paid tax on the income that you paid into Social Security, you're taxed on it potentially when it comes back out to you. So for a single individual, you take a look at what's called your provisional income, which is equal to half of your Social Security benefits, plus your modified adjusted gross income. And you add those together, and if they exceed $25,000, you can now be taxed up to 50% of your Social Security benefit. If you exceed $34,000, you could be taxed up to 85% of your Social Security taxes. So it's very important that if you're single and you're coming up to those kind of thresholds of $25,000 or $34,000, or married couples at the $32,000 and $44,000, that you take a look at possibilities. Is there a way to reduce your taxable income? So for example, if dividends from stocks or distributions from retirement accounts are pushing you over that amount, you may want to look at different ways of structuring your income so that you can stay within these levels to avoid taxes. Because just stepping over that initial tier all of a sudden triggers tax on 50% of your Social Security. And that can be a dramatic increase in taxes for just a very small amount of income. So I encourage you to pay attention to that and be aware of that as you get to the age of starting to take your Social Security. Now, some of the next steps for you to go on with making decisions and understanding the benefits that are available to you for your Social Security is to go to the website at ssa.gov. If you have not received a printed statement, make sure you log into your account and get your benefit statement so that you know exactly what you can expect. And we encourage you to meet with your financial coach, or you can give Hammond Iles a call if you're not currently working with us. We offer a 15-minute, no obligation, free consultation to just kind of provide you some initial guidance, and we'll provide some personalized analysis for you. You also want to incorporate that into your file of all your information for your retirement accounts and taking a look at putting together your financial plan for the future. Now, you can apply for benefits when you reach that age and decide to turn it on one of 3 ways. One is you can actually do it through the website online, or you can go into a Social Security office and meet with them in person. And actually, if you have a lot of questions as to your eligibility for a spousal benefit, or not certain as to exactly what your benefits will be at different ages, I highly encourage you to go in and meet in person where they can pull up your Social Security statement and go over it with you. Or if you like smooth jazz or want to just spend some time on hold, you can call on the phone and call Social Security and talk to a person online to go over your benefit. So that is kind of the important things that you need to know in solving the picture of Social Security. And so to wrap up, I just wanted to share a couple of jokes with you. I thought I'd wrap up by sharing some humor around Social Security, because I know that this can be a dry topic. And I thank you for sticking with me here on our presentation in this Power Hour. And, they were trying to write jokes for millennials about Social Security. but they figured they just wouldn't get it. Or, your mama is so old, her Social Security number is 3. Well, thank you again for joining me, Greg Hammond, the CEO of Hammond Iles Wealth Advisors, for our Financial Power Hour. I encourage you to attend more of our workshops or watch our videos on our website at hiwealth.com, or attend one of our live workshops. All the information on our upcoming events, as well as our podcast, Your Money, Your Purpose, you'll find on our website at hiwealth.com.